What is up, Titan Nation? It's been a while. I hope all of you guys are doing all right out there. Not a lot of news going on in the Titans world, but there is some awesome news going on today, and it's been going on the last couple weeks. Not so awesome in the beginning, but things have gotten better for Eddie and his family. And, as a Titans fan, and I know Titans Nation is so happy for them and all the awesome work that all of you have done as well behind the scenes, making that happen for them. And anyways, we're going to start off, guys, with a video and news clip that came out with Eddie and Hayley, who's also joining us today. And this was so awesome that they did that. And shout out to the media and all those who have retweeted this show and who have helped get the message out there. So here we go. And guys, if you haven't yet, please share this. Please tell other fans on your Twitter and everything else that we're live right now. We'd like to get, as much people in here as possible. I know it's the off season and all that, but we would love to get as many people in here as we can today. So so here we go. Let me roll this video here.
A Tennessee Titans fan and his family among those who escaped the violence in Ukraine. They say this would not have been possible without the help of Titans fans in Europe and here at home. News 4's Marissa Sulik shows us how social media, Marissa, helped get that family out at the right time.
Yeah, that's right, Tracy. Eddie Oreily is a die-hard Titans fan who's actually never even seen a game here at Nissan Stadium. He's from California and lives in Ukraine, and that's where he streams games and gets updates on Twitter. And that's exactly how people all over the world, fans that is, became his lifeline. Explosions and destruction is all that rings in Eddie Oreily's Ukraine home.
We just had sirens, so we had to run to the underground.
After hours sitting in this parking garage, he, his wife, and stepdaughter decided they had to get out.
So we're in Bucharest now.
They're now in Romania after a friend found them a ride many in Ukraine want.
And Bernard calls. Eddie, I have 3 spots in a place for your family and the dog. Can you get to the bus?
When they got to Bucharest, they needed a place to stay.
My father was a massive Oilers fan.
That's when Eddie's longtime love for the two-toned blue came in.
The German fan club, the Titans German fan club.
Tim Littinger runs the official fan club of the Tennessee Titans for German-speaking countries.
We are currently at 86 members in Germany, Austria, Switzerland.
A group who saw Eddie's call for help on Twitter.
Then we saw how he fled from Kiev, and I was like, okay, guys, when we do something, we do it the right way.
Tim and his team found Eddie's family an Airbnb in Bucharest. He plans to do the same when they get to where he is.
We were like, okay, dude, when you're making it to Germany, we're gonna help you, and we're gonna support you.
One fan tightening up for another miles away.
I never in my wildest dreams would have thought being a fan of a football team or any sports team or anything, being a fan of anything would be the reason or be not the reason that I was able to save my family's, save our lives, get us out of danger.
Now, another Titans fan here in Nashville set up a GoFundMe for Eddie and his family. Eddie says the proceeds from that GoFundMe will go toward people fighting on the front lines in Ukraine. And you can find a link to that on our website. Tracy.
What a connection. It just proves you can make family anywhere, and community is just so important. Thank you.
So there we go. There's the one of the media stories, and we're going to go ahead and bring Eddie and Hayley in here. What is up, guys?
What's going on?
Hi, Lena. Hello.
And what is your wife's name again? I'm sorry. Lena? Lena. Okay. Hello, Lena. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. I'm so grateful to have all of you on. Hayley, I know, I've been asking you to come on for a while, and we've been trying to coordinate that. But anyways, I'm so grateful to have you here. I'm so grateful that you're safe, that your family's safe, Eddie and Lena. This has been an incredible story. I'm sure it's a story you guys wish you didn't have to tell or live, but you know, sometimes in life things happen, and this has happened unfortunately to you guys. So I wanted to show just kind of a clip to start off with, and this was from your Twitter page, Eddie, and thank you so much for basically journaling all the, putting all this out there, because we've been able to follow it. But this is from, I guess this was a bombing in your city, and you can correct me on this after the video if not, but here we go.
Все это отсюда могло стрелять уже. Так, по-любому это где-то рядом.
So yeah,
that was actually not a bombing. That was the territorial militia shooting down a drone coming across the city. Yeah. So and, I mean, you can clearly hear that it was rapid gunfire. It wasn't, and there wasn't any lot of explosions. It was, I think I'm not sure, there was no report on if they actually downed it, but I assume they did because the shooting stopped. Either they downed it or it flew away.
Wow, that's incredible. And
that's only about a 5-minute drive from my house.
Wow, that's incredible. And just kind of, when this all started, were you guys and Ukraine as a whole, and Lena, you can speak on this as well, but did you guys know they were going to attack like so suddenly, or like how did that start before it started?
So they had been building up troops for months, and they kept saying, oh, it's military exercises this, military exercises that. We're not going to attack. We're just, doing war games, whatever. We knew they would not attack during the Olympics, because it would be a direct disrespect to Beijing, and they're trying to create close ties. So we knew that wasn't going to happen. As soon as the games ended, we knew that it could be any day, any minute. So the night before the attack, we went to bed like normal. Thought, the next, didn't have any thoughts about the next day. We just went to bed, like every day. And we woke up, and then, every morning I wake up, I just click the world news on my phone, just scroll through to see what's going on. And we saw that they had invaded. And I turned to my wife immediately. I said, Lena, you're not going to school today. It's just not going to happen. And immediately she tried to argue with me. No, I'm going. My students are going. I'm going. She loves her students. No more than 30 seconds after that, little bit of a lover's argument, the air raid siren goes off. Now the siren close to our house is 120 meters.
Wow.
Behind our bedroom window is a big telecommunications tower. So it's deafening, and you can't miss it. And that was the beginning. She can tell you her.
As for our expectations, of course, up to the very first day of the full-scale invasion, nobody hoped, nobody expected it to turn out to be like that. Yes, we knew there were troops along the border, and yes, the Crimean Peninsula had been taken years ago, but if we were expecting anything, it was no more than Russia trying to fully overtake the two most eastern, closest to Russia regions. And when it started to be obvious that it was about going to Kyiv, to the capital, yes, and invading it fully, it was a shock. I believe it still is a shock to everyone. And everybody is hoping and praying to God that it stops any time today, but it's obviously not stopping, and it's unfortunately getting only worse for those who are still there, and there are millions there.
Speaking about getting worse, really quick there, just this morning there were reports, so there's supposed to be a ceasefire, a humanitarian corridor. The name of the city is Melitopol.
A city in the southeast.
It's supposed to be a humanitarian corridor where, you know, it's safe for civilians to evacuate. Just this morning, there were reports, and it was then later confirmed that Russian military had bombed a train that was sitting in Irpin, waiting for civilians to board to take them away. Luckily, there was no one hurt. They did it before anybody arrived at the train. So,
but the evacuation process has been disrupted fully.
At this point, no one is safe. At the beginning, the civilians were safe. They weren't attacking civilian homes. They weren't attacking civilian living areas. It was all focused on military objectives, airports, communications, you know, these kinds of things. Now you don't know. You live in a house. You might not wake up if you don't get to the shelter from the siren. It's just unimaginably. It's a horrendous thing that's going on, and there's so many people that are affected, so many people that are trapped, that don't have a support group that, you know, I was able to have through Hayley, and they don't even have enough money to even get to the border, let alone cross it and be safe when they do cross it.
Yeah, it's terrible, and I've seen so many videos of apartments being bombed, and, you know, just random civilian. It's like, why? You know, just like you'll see a video of a random apartment, like one part of it blown out, and it's like, you know, what are we doing here?
So the reason for that is their original objective was just to go fast, right at Kiev. They thought it was going to be just an easy ordeal. Back in the 90s, the way the Russian military and the way Putin tactically went about things is they would just level towns. They would use their TOS-1 thermobaric ballistic missile launchers, and they would just level towns, just destroy everything in their way. And as we're getting further into their invasion, into their trying to occupy Ukraine, you will be able to see that they went from only going through military tactical things to now they're just trying to blow everything up in their way and get through as fast as possible to occupy as many tactical places as they can. I didn't get a chance to read that message. I saw it was from Kelsey. Yeah, can you pop that back up there?
Keisha Bible.
Keisha, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, she said all this is so sad.
We appreciate all the prayers, all the positive thoughts, and everything coming our way. It's just it's helped so much. Just even the prayers themselves have just been, they're felt. They're definitely felt.
And Hayley, I do want to ask you, you know, how, you know, I've known Eddie through Twitter. We talked during the season, message here and there about Titans games and stuff like that. How did this get started with you and him? And did you know him prior as well?
Yeah, I mean, I knew him prior, just like you did. I think Eddie, you know, obviously being in Ukraine, not having, you know, any Titans fans around, I think we all kind of, you know, chat with him, and so we had got to know each other just chatting about the Titans, you know. I mean, maybe for a few months, you know. So yeah, so I kind of had a similar relationship probably as to you, like with him before that. But we had, you know, he had told me about living in Ukraine. He had, you know, talked about his family and, you know, what he does. So there were, yeah, I mean, we knew each other a little bit like before that. So before this happened.
And it's, you know, it's awesome what you've set up, Hayley, and talk a little bit about the GoFundMe, and also, guys, the link is pinned in the YouTube chat. So if you guys do want to donate, they're 1,400 away from their goal. They're at 8 as far as this morning. Let me see. I have the picture here of where you guys are at with your goal. And of course, you know, the goal is the goal, but, you know, it's to get as much as possible. Right. But that's where they were at as far as like an hour ago. And the link is in the description for you in the chat. All you got to do is click on it, and whatever you guys can donate, $1, $5, $1,000, whatever, is much appreciated. But let us know how that came about, Hayley.
So basically, I don't really keep up with the news very well, like at all. And a couple weeks ago, I was at a restaurant. I just happened to see like the news was on the TV in the restaurant, and I saw something about Ukraine. And I asked my friend, I was like, "What's going on?" And because immediately I thought about Eddie, and he told me kind of what was going on. That of course, that was before Russia invaded, but I immediately messaged Eddie and was like, "Are you okay? Like, is everything okay?" And then, so when Russia actually invaded, as soon as I saw the news, I just immediately messaged him and, to check on them, make sure they were okay. But also, I just said, what can I do? I mean, is there something I can do? Can I try to, get some money collected for you guys to get out? Like, I was just trying to think of something tangible that I could do to help this situation. So initially it just started. I mean, I think I can remember at one point telling Eddie we had like, I don't know, $150. And it was like, wow, like I can't believe that. You know what I mean? That was a big deal, that people wanted to give that much. So so it kind of started with just I put out like my personal Venmo and Cash App because they don't have Venmo and Cash App there. So I just put out my personal accounts and people gave me, I think we raised like a little over $3,000 just on that, and then as the story started getting bigger and more people want to know about it, I figured we needed a better and easier way to share it. So I started the GoFundMe. And then that kind of took off pretty quickly too. So it's been crazy.
That's
Very
that's
emotional.
really awesome.
It's amazing what people have been willing and able to do. And it's just, I can tell you this, while we make enough money to live normally in Ukraine, with the way that things were going and our accounts all being locked up through the Ukrainian banks, I can tell you without Hayley's help, without everyone's help that's helped us throughout this journey, we wouldn't have been able to get, if we had enough in cash to get it to the border and across it, but no further. We would have been in a refugee camp or a tent, hoping that things ended as soon as possible. So it's just, it means so much to me that to know that my family is safe, and because of that, it's directly because of everyone that's helped, whether it's been either donating money or just praying. The prayers, I mean, like I said a few minutes ago, we can I don't know how to explain it, but we could feel that something was helping us, something was watching over us every step of the way. Just as soon as we started going, all the dominoes, they were just falling, and it was just, everything was going good. There was no, we thought, okay, we would get to the border and there'd be problems, because there's people waiting for 4 days. We got to the border. I saw a volunteer and I said, hey, I'm here with my family trying to get across. What do we do? Because we didn't know how to line up and to register. And she noticed that I was an American and my family were Ukrainians, 2 women and a dog. She said, come with me. We went to the soldier, and the soldier let us right through. We didn't have to wait at all. We were 25 minutes at the border. I feel so bad for the people that were waiting there for 4 days and we got to go ahead of them. But it's like I said, it just felt like that's what I mean. You could feel the prayers. You could feel that something was guiding us through this entire trip.
That's amazing. And somebody that is a dear friend of mine, and he's in the chat, Al Pierce, I know he's been really praying hard for you guys, and everybody has. And I do want to get to some of the comments here because, you guys, like you said, you have so much support. And Ryan Dodd's in the house. He says, how you doing? Al Pierce says, let's bring back the chance. Eddie. So
there's only one Eddie that deserves that, and it's not me, I can promise you.
Titans Tiger is in the building. He said he seconds Al's comment. Susan McFarland, she says she's here even though she's technically challenged.
Hi, Susan.
We're all challenged somehow, Susan.
We love you, Susan.
Mike, I'm sorry for this, but my daughter is upstairs and she needs to go help her. She just wanted to come by and give her a little, try to let you know how it is from a Ukrainian. Like I said,
and how much I really appreciate what you guys have been doing.
Yeah,
It's really felt, it's tremendous.
and thank you so much for coming on. And God bless you and the family and everything. And we'll be behind you 100%.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye, Lena.
Bye.
We'll get to some more of these comments here.
Now all the beautiful is left. You're just stuck with me. Sorry.
And me.
I'm still here. How do you choose?
Well, I'm into my camera, Hayley. You're holding both me and Mike up right now.
Yeah. Janet Kinsey, this is Mason Kinsey's mom, and she's a big supporter of the channel, and we're friends with them. And Mason did share the tweet, and Mason's done some stuff for some people in the Titans fans already, even before this. So big shout out to Mason and his family. They're such good people. People always rag me and upload like, why do you guys support Mason so much? And the reason we do is because their family's incredible, and they're always like first to help out. We send this, sure, we'll tweet it, we'll tell Mason to tweet it. So it's really cool how they are. 615 says 8,665 has been raised so far. Pete Sam's in the building. Jim Lacey says, glad you guys are safe.
Thanks, Jim.
Janet again says, we're praying for you in Ukraine. You have all of our support. Titan Anderson is here. What's up, TA? Keisha says, all this is so sad. I'm sorry your family has to go through this. I'm praying so hard for you and your family. Titans Anderson says, I've talked to Eddie as well. He's a good guy, and I wish him and his family the best. Melody Eisenlower. I'm sorry I'm butchering that name. She's sending support. Titan Uploads in the building. My dear friend says, prayers for your family, Eddie. So, Susan says, so great to meet you. Go help your daughter. Where's the dog? I think she was talking to Lena, but
I tried to get the dog down here. I know my dog has probably more fans and more support than anybody else in my family. If you want to talk for a second, I'll try to get him down here, but I don't want to leave the camera empty on you.
Yeah, whatever you want to do is fine. Me and Hayley can hold down the fort probably. But
all right, let me see if I can grab him real quick.
Okay, awesome. And Hayley, so I know this has been kind of an emotional experience for me, and I'm not even like any bit related to it. Like, how emotional has this been for you? And I'm trying not to get you emotional, but
it's already starting. It's fine.
I mean, how emotional has this been for you? I mean, you've been a big part of this,
It's been pretty emotional, actually. It's so when he crossed the border into Romania, which was him finally kind of escaping. When he crossed the border, I was the first person he called. I had, hi Jack. And when he called, I held it together. I was talking to him. He was like, you're the first person. And I could just hear the relief in his voice. And as soon as we got off the phone, like, I just broke down. There's been several times that I've just broken down, just prior to that, just from worry, but also then after that, just like thankfulness and relief, that but also heartbreak for them, because the truth is that they're this journey.
You better get your screen grab. I'm sorry, Hayley, because I'm not long going to sit here like this.
No, go ahead.
You better get your screen grab.
So there's Jack, the infamous Jack.
Yes.
What an awesome
infamous
dog.
No way, not infamous, famous.
The famous Jack. He is he's been all over the place, all over social media and everything. So he's a
little adopted dog. We got him when he was just a baby off the street. The vet says he's Jack Russell and Beagle mixed. He's a loving little guy.
That's awesome, man. It's so
He's
good
super
to have.
Stressed, though. This whole trip, he's just been so stressed. I'm gonna put him down now, though, so he can go run around.
I'm sure. I mean,
extremely
they get stressed like we do. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
and they feed off our emotions as well. You know, so it's yeah. I mean, I don't have dogs. I have 2 cats, which are like my
I'm
children.
sorry.
But but yeah.
Jack.
But no, I love my cats, man. They're awesome. But you know, you definitely couldn't take cats on a 40-hour journey or whatever. So
Yeah.
that'd be probably a little difficult. I did want to get to some of the videos that you posted on your Twitter, and you were talking about the sirens earlier. And I want people to see this. I want people to see what you guys kind of went through emotionally. So these were the sirens Eddie was talking about earlier. What's up, Tim?
Hi, how you doing?
How
Hi,
you
Tim.
doing? And this is you're part of the Germans Titans fan club, right?
Yeah, I'm the president of German Titans, his partner in crime currently. I just want to step by and say hello. I got no time. I'm preparing dinner, doing some barbecue. So
Awesome.
come guys.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you for all you've done.
Hi, Tim.
We'll see in a minute. All right.
That's amazing. And this is the Germans Titans fan club that Tim is the president of. So that's so cool. That's so cool. They started that. So anyways, we'll get to the video here. And I got a few videos just kind of showing your journey. But here's the one of the sirens when I think you guys were in your bathroom.
Jack, come. Good boy. Stay.
Man,
Hey,
that's just like, when I think of things like that, being in America, we haven't had any wars on our soil in, hundreds of years. And I live in South Florida, so we have the hurricane sirens, but it's nothing like, just kind of explain that experience to me or to us.
First of all, sorry for the feet in the video, but my mother-in-law was crying and I couldn't really, but I really wanted so people could understand the way it sounds. And we were behind 3 closed doors and it's outside, but so as of now, even when I'm walking through outside or whatever, anything that remotely sounds like a siren, I kind of jerk and it's worse for my daughter. She hears it everywhere still. And she's just been so strong throughout this entire journey. But to hear those sirens, so we've heard them before when the pandemic first started, they would hit a siren like that, but it'd be a short burst and then followed by a message, hey, everybody, try to social distance, this kind of thing. Before that, I'd never heard it so long, and it's just such an eerie sound. Like I said a little while ago, the first one happened not long after we woke up on the morning of the invasion, and it was terrifying. Is this siren meaning they're coming? Are they close? Do I have time to get to the bathroom? Do I have time to get somewhere safe? As it went on, we understood that the sirens were going off for the most part because they were attacking places around us. But that first siren, the first morning, was because there were Russian military planes bombing the airport outside the city, about 10 kilometers. I'm not sure the difference between that in miles. It's probably 6.5, 7 miles outside the city center. And so, during the day, we got accustomed to hearing it. We would just, jump up from the bed or whatever we were doing and we'd run to the bathroom. The worst siren, the worst time when the sirens would go off is when we're sleeping, when we just gotten to sleep and it would go off. And you were just asleep, so it's just such a fear because you don't have anything. You have your shoes are off, everything is off. You're just trying to get up and get to the bathroom. And because, so at that point, what we did is we took our mattress from our bedroom, because our house, we're building an addition, and we're gonna make, until now, we were gonna make a second floor on it. So we had to put these big concrete blocks, right, for the next floor to be able to walk on. So our part of the house is not that safe because there's not an additional floor above it yet. So if anything hits nearby, those concrete things fall, we're done. We you know what I mean? They're gonna smash us. So we took our mattress from our bed and we put it in the living room. And so Masha was sleeping on the couch. We were sleeping on the mattress on the floor. And her parents' room was just outside the living room. So we were all pretty close by that time. But just the panic of waking up to the siren, and then first thought is Masha, Jack. Make sure that they're up and they're able to get into the bathroom. And then we make sure that her parents are able to get there. They're not too old. They're like close to 70. But the bathroom's not very big. I mean, you can see from the pictures. So we all get in there, and we, my wife and daughter, they had their bicycle helmets on. Not sure how much good that would do. I mean, it would help from, small debris, but just any small thing I could think of to make it just a little bit safer while it was going on. As far as up until this point today, there's only been one actual bombing or one shelling in the town that I'm from, Venitsa. It was at the airport. The first 2.5 nights, there were German airplanes, German fighter planes coming toward Venitsa to bomb. Luckily, the Ukrainian Air Force are just full of badasses with the balls the size of watermelons. They shot down everything coming their way. They shot down, I think it was 4 planes and a helicopter coming toward Venitsa in the first 2.5 nights. I don't know if you guys have heard about the Ghost of Kiev. But he's up to 20 plus air-to-air kills. He had 6 in the first night. He's the first ace in one day since the 90s. Or I'm sorry, I don't remember since when. And he's the first ace since forever. The Ukrainian people are just so brave and so fearless. Well, I don't want to say fearless because they're scared. We're all scared, but they're just so brave, and they're the real heroes of any of this story. And I've tried to point as much to them as possible. The people that are there fighting every minute, every day, just keeping Russia at bay. The people that weren't able to get out, that they don't know if this siren is going to be the last time they get to hug their daughter or their mother or their brother or their sister or their cousins, aunts, uncles, or what we call babushka and dadushka. It's granny and grandpa. They don't know if this siren is the last time they're going to see their family. And they have no way out, so they're there, and they're still going through this. And I can't imagine. I mean, I was there for a total of 4 days of it, and I have all kind of PTSD, if you will. I can't imagine what it's like 7 days later. Constant sirens every 30 to 40 minutes throughout the night, throughout the day. I don't wish that upon anybody. It's the worst feeling in the world not to know if you're going to be alive in the next 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I do want to show. So I do have some videos of the Ukrainian people. I want to show this. Now this was a video of them standing in front of tanks, and there's videos all over the internet of countless amounts where they're throwing Molotovs at tanks. And this is just one of them. About the Molotovs, oh, sorry, go ahead. They sent out over social media, everything, the government. Two things. They sent out a request to make sure you don't throw glass bottles away, that you keep them, that you try to find as many as you can get, and take them to any place where you can see militia, military men, police officers. And then with that post, they sent out a how-to on how to make a proper Molotov cocktail in case you need it for yourself. That's amazing, man. I could not even imagine that here in the States. Could you imagine Like,
Being
could you imagine that, Hayley?
How
Like,
you're gonna
that's,
protect yourself? It's just
Not at all.
I mean, that's crazy. But here, we'll play this video. I got a couple videos of, Ukrainians stepping up and things like that. But here's one of them. I mean, it's incredible, man. I mean, they're shooting in the air while they're there, and those people, I mean, they're just regular Joe Schmoes like any of us, and they're defending their country. I mean, it's just, and that's just one of the many videos that are out there. It's crazy how many heroes have stepped up in Ukraine. There's another guy. His name is Terrell Jermaine Starr. I don't know if this guy's American or what. Like he doesn't have much of an accent.
you talking about the press guy from Chicago?
I think
Terrell?
so.
He's currently right now taking trips as often as he can in a vehicle, his own vehicle, evacuating people, families as much as he can. I'm following him and trying to retweet him as much as I can.
And I got this off your Twitter, but here's one where he's taking people to the border. I mean, and it's just amazing, man, that this guy is stepping up, and it's so many stories like that. And living in America, and I'm not saying like, oh, we're pansies or anything, but I don't see us being that united here. I mean, of course,
their president is a badass. I don't know if you follow Zelensky, but he is just.
I have.
If we just had a few politicians in the U.S. that were willing to do that kind of thing for their country,
it'd be a much better place.
I don't want to go into politics because I don't want to make any enemies or any new friends.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, but and I just wanted to show, like, because I'm sure people have followed it and everything, and I just wanted to show like how strong these people are. I mean, and I don't even see it firsthand, but you live there. You live in Ukraine. You lived there for a while. On a day-to-day basis, even before the war, how proud of these people are they of their country? And, just kind of what do you see?
So I grew up in the U.S. I'm from the U.S. I have friends in the military. I'm not going to compare this to that because that's just disrespectful. It would be disrespectful to either country. But I don't know if the very first day of the invasion, as the first news stuff came out, the first reports, the first videos, there was a lady a little bit older than me. She's in her mid-40s. And she walked up to a Russian soldier in one of the most contested places in Ukraine right now. And she asked him what he's doing here. And basically he told her, please go away. Gotta give it to some of these Russian soldiers. Most of them don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know why they're there. They were lied to. And a lot of them are using a lot of restraint, at least the guys on the ground. And most of them are young kids, new conscripts that were just told, here's a gun, go there. And I'm sure you've seen reports of this where they've been captured and they call on their parents and they tell them parents that they were lied to and just crying because back to the lady. She told this Russian soldier, because after they talked a little bit, she said, please, at least take these sunflower seeds. Now, sunflowers are the flower of Ukraine. She told this soldier to take sunflower seeds. Now, the reason she told him that is she said, put these in your pocket. So when you fall, at least your body does something good and raises sunflowers up from your dead body. This soldier was equipped with an AK-47. He was in full military garb. He could have easily shot her and she didn't give a damn. She was doing what she could to protect her country, to protect her family, to protect her town. I don't think there's a single Ukrainian that wouldn't die for their country if they had to. Obviously, there's been over 1.5 million Ukrainians that left. Most of them are parents. You know, no one that can fight or that has an ability to fight are leaving. People with families, people with kids, people that, you know, need to protect their kids are the ones that are leaving. These Ukrainian people are probably some of the bravest people I've ever seen in my life. They've been through so much. They just received their independence in the 90s. They're just a young country as far as independence goes. They're trying to build something. They're trying their hardest to break away from Russia. And every time they start to make progress, Putin or Lavrov, they try to bring them back. And what's so bad about this is they were so close to making that final step to become part of the EU, which would incredibly increase their economic power. Now they're nowhere near close, even before this happened, to joining NATO. That's a different discussion. But with this invasion by Russia, there's so much of the country up from the east to the west of Ukraine, where Kiev is, all the way through, and even the south, that has just been destroyed. Billions of dollars of damage. The economic setback is going to be 10 to 20 years. It's going to take 10 to 20 years to get back to where they were just 2 weeks ago. Hopefully it's faster, but it's horrible. And these people are it's already a poor country. It's already a struggling country, and this just adds to it. And it breaks my heart that there's so many still there that just have nowhere to go. They have no help. They have nothing, and they don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, and it kills me.
And
I
Hayley,
even feel guilty. I feel guilty for for having the chance that I have. So that's really the reason I've been doing these shows. Before I agreed to any interviews, I've had a relationship with Corey Curtis for quite a while. And I reached out to him and I said, man, what do I do? Because I don't want the spotlight on me. I want it to be on Ukraine and on the people that are still there fighting. I know our story is being followed quite heavily, and I understand why people are doing it. They feel helpless, and they need a way to help. And I appreciate it, and I'm glad to take it. But I don't want the spotlight on me. So Corey, what do I do? How do I negotiate my way through this time and try to put as much spotlight as I can on the Ukrainian people? And he said, you just got to tell the reporters and everybody asking, this is what you want to spotlight. You don't want the spotlight on yourself. So that's the reason I've agreed to all of the podcasts that I've done so far, and then a few next week. All of the news stories that I've done, because I want to get the word out so much about the people that are there, about ways that you can still help them, even though they're stuck in the country. There's ways to donate to the Ukrainian military. There's ways to donate to the border volunteers. Everywhere we've been so far, as soon as we left Ukraine, doesn't matter if we were on the train, if we were at a city, there are volunteers everywhere. I did share a video of one set in Bucharest when I was at the mall shopping for some groceries to leave with. people all over Europe, and I'm sure all over the US, are just donating and donating and donating. Eventually it's going to run out. Money isn't infinite. And all these organizations rely on donations of products, donations of money to help keep them going. And as a Ukrainian person crosses the border, a lot of them don't have much. And if they do have anything, they're not able to change their hryvnia to local currency, because right now no one wants it. There's so much of it at the borders that it's almost impossible to get the currency to be able to buy a water for your daughter, or buy a pretzel stick or something to feed your kids. So all of these volunteers that are just so for example, when we crossed the Romanian border, or crossed into Romania, there were about 200 feet on each side of tents. One side was people being able to sleep with a heater in the tent, and the other side was just tables and tents upon tents of water, of hygiene products, of jackets, of clothes, of shoes, of everything that someone would need just to survive in the cold or the night that they're going through. So while I appreciate all of the help that everyone has given me, there's so many more people that don't have anyone to help them, that if we could just get something to them, or even just getting the links tweeted out so people can, $1, $2 will buy 3 liters of water. In most of these Eastern European countries, Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, all of these, even Poland, a few dollars will buy a few liters of water. A few liters of water can keep a person hydrated for a couple of days if they don't, drink it all at once because they're so thirsty. Just prayers and whatever we can do to help.
And Hayley, as far as the support goes, what type of support have you received on your end, as far as from people too? Because you've kind of been heading up the GoFundMe and things like that. Just kind of speak on like the support that you've seen personally through maybe Titans fan, Ladies of Titans Twitter, any of that type of stuff, as far as that goes.
Well, I've had a great, I'll say everybody, like on Twitter, obviously a lot of people know Eddie. And so it was easy to kind of get that support going, just because they know him, and they're Titans fans. But like once, at some point, I kind of ended up posting like on Facebook about it, where, Eddie's not on Facebook. Most of those people, they don't know him or whatever, but but everybody is just, I get messages all the time, people who don't know Eddie, asking about him, asking about his family, telling me that they're praying, even I had a friend message me just yesterday and, said, oh, well, they know somebody in Ukraine and they want to help, kind of the way that, we've helped Eddie. And so there's just a lot of people just supporting the whole process. Of course, the Ladies of Titans Twitter are always, we are always supportive of each other, and they've been amazing through this. There's been some of them in here today, like they're obviously always supportive of anything that we do. And also, I just want to say that a huge thing was with Ann and Tim kind of joining in and being able to actually, Ann found Eddie and Lena and Masha a place to stay in Bucharest. And Jack, I'm sorry.
Can't forget about Jack.
So she found them a place to stay for a few days in Bucharest. Did some research, wanted to make sure they could find a place near the train station, but also that would accept Jack. And so so she did that. And then Tim, of course, and the German Titans have been they've raised their own little bit of money, or about $1,000, I think, for him. And then they found him a place to stay. Tim has picked him up. And of course, he's at Tim's house right now, you know.
Sorry, my dog.
So, and that has been a huge help, not only to Eddie, obviously the biggest help to Eddie, but even for me, because there's only so much I can do being so far away. And they've been able to kind of take it a step further because they're closer. They're on his same time. There was a night last week where I was, I kind of haven't been sleeping a whole lot because of what's been going on. Eddie, you know, it's daytime while I'm sleeping. So I kind of want to be available. So I'm like, call me whenever, you know. So he called me at like 3:30 in the morning and just kind of in a panic because all they had was cash on hand, and their Ukrainian money, they couldn't get it exchanged. Like he was just talking about. So they literally had no money, you know, and no way to get money. So I'm like, you know, he wakes me up. I'm like, all right, what do I need to do? You know, because I have the money, obviously. I have to but I have to send it by like Western Union or something like that. So I was like, all right, well, tell me what to do. Tell me where to send it, you know. And then he was like, okay, I'll call you back. Well, I stayed up a little bit, and then I fell back asleep, and I never heard back. And the next morning I found out that Tim had actually stepped in and said, hey, like, you know what, let's let Hayley sleep. Like, we got you taken care of. I'm going to send you some money through Western Union. And kind of just picked up in that gap where where it was difficult for me. So it's really been an amazing just story, and how everything is all connected, and you know, like Eddie was saying, just how smoothly everything has gone, getting him out. It's really amazing. So
that's awesome. And Al Pierce has some nice words for you there. He says you've been a godsend, and thank you.
Hayley has been. It's been incredible. The words, there's no words for what she's done. The words don't exist. It can't go too much because I'm gonna start crying, but we feel it, and we love her, and we appreciate everything that she and everyone has done. She helped save my family's life, and there's no way I can ever thank her enough. And the rest of you, everyone that's helped, whether it was with money or prayers, it's just, without that, my family could be dead. We don't know.
Yeah. You know, there was a time when me and my wife, we moved down to South Florida, and this is obviously not, you know, as dire of a situation, but this was a few years ago, and it was right when the pandemic started, literally like 2 weeks before we moved down. We spent all this money getting down here, all this stuff, and it was maybe like 2 months we got here before the pandemic really hit hard. And I'd had a job lined up making good money. It was like $22 an hour, this and that. You know, I got laid off. Then I got another job, got laid off because of the pandemic, shutting down properties and stuff. And we were in this apartment, and we didn't have any money for rent. We had $200 left in our account. We didn't even have money to buy food hardly, or do, it was insane. And, you know, somebody suggested to me, you need to start up a Facebook account. I'm like, no, man, I don't want to do that. Like a GoFundMe type thing through Facebook. It's like, man, I don't want to do that, because I'm the type of person, and you probably are too, Eddie, that doesn't want to, you know, ask for help like that, who feels like others need the help, you know, instead of us or something. And I did, and people donated, like, I can't remember what it was. It was like 4,000 total or something. And it was just like, I had a moment right then and there.
Overwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah. And I had a moment right then and there where I just broke down. And even now it makes me, you know, emotional thinking of it. And all I could say was, you know, and I'm not making this religious or anything, but all I could say at that time was, thank you, God. You know what I mean? Because to me, there was no other, you know, there was no other explanation for it and why people would do it. To me, had to be a higher power. It had to be something bigger than me that made it happen. And this situation, I think, is bigger than all of us. And this is why it's happening. And whether it be for you, for your family, for all the others that have been getting support, all the other foundations that have been getting supplies and money and things sent like that, you know. And I do want to play a few more of your videos, Eddie. And I don't want to go too long because I know you got things going on. So maybe we go another 10 minutes or so, if that's cool with you and Hayley. But I do want to.
Sorry, my dog has put up camp on my chest.
That Jack is more than welcome on this show anytime. And so this was when I thought this was an amazing moment when you posted this on Twitter, when you guys are rolling into Frankfurt, and it just put a smile on my face. And here we go.
Yes, the river is fine. The full name of the city is Frankfurt on the Main.
Hey guys, we made it to Frankfurt. We're gonna get off the bus here soon. Thank you for your prayers and your support and your help. We'll give you further updates soon. Love you all. Bye.
And another video that really made my heart smile was this one too, when they, you know, your family was at least able to share your birthday with you.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Papa. Happy birthday to you. Come on. Happy birthday.
Thank you guys.
And it's so cool that, talk about that just for a minute or two, about like the moments of, if there are, and I know there are because we just saw one, but the moments of kind of joy that you've had in all this, you know what I mean? Like we talked about the bad things that have happened, but just kind of things that have happened like that.
So the first, oh, check, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't be scared. Sorry, just a second. 10 minutes. It's okay, buddy. Sorry, just a second. Sorry, I just got scared. So the first moment, from the time it started to the time I was able to actually breathe, the first time I was able to breathe and take a breath was the first morning I woke up in Bucharest. That morning, the 1st of March. And it hit me before that, but that's really when it hit me that my family was going to be okay. That we were out, that we didn't have to run anymore. But instead of running, we were moving forward to where we could, start to rebuild. So I typically don't like my birthdays. This is also going to be sad, and I'm sorry that I'm going to tell you this, but don't worry, it happened a long time ago, and I've come to grips with it. My mother died on my 17th birthday.
Oh wow!
She had come home. We were getting ready to go out to dinner, and I had just asked her, "Hey, Mom, did you pick this up?" And she hadn't picked it up. And she said, "No problem. Hey, I'll go out and grab it real quick." 5 minutes later, she was hit by a drunk driver across the street. So birthdays typically just aren't my day. I usually isolate. I go into my room. I go into my office, and I just kind of try to get the day away.
Yeah.
So this was the first birthday in probably 12, 15 years where I actually enjoyed it.
Wow.
And I kind of started the day with just saying, okay, I'm gonna do this for my wife, my daughter. They need this. They need this kind of day. And then I was like, I also need to try and enjoy.
Oh, awesome, man.
We're on our way, Tim.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Oh wait, it smells too good. So then I was like, also the people of Titans Nation and everyone that, even if they're not Titans fans, everyone that's helped, they need to see that we're okay, and we're moving forward.
Yeah.
So I woke up that morning. I was like, this is what's going to happen. We're going to take the day. We're going to relax. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to go to the mall. We're going to do a little shopping for some things we need for the trip. We're going to have some food at the food court, and we're going to just try to, have a good day. And it turned out, like I said, to be one of the best birthdays I've had in a good 15 years. It was
That's amazing.
so much fun. I haven't had Taco Bell in over a decade because they don't have it in Ukraine. So we had already done a couple things, and we walked up the food court, and I looked down and to the left, and I'm like, holy, bad word, Lena. That is a Taco Bell. Let's go. And I was just so excited. I almost couldn't stop myself from running to get there. It was just, I know it's silly because it's just Taco Bell, right? But
no, it makes sense.
it's more than that. It just made me feel even more safe, even more secure knowing that we're okay.
Yeah.
So then we finished shopping. Sorry, he's shaking. It's okay, buddy. You're okay. Hey, come here.
Okay.
When I whisper to him in his ear, he tends to calm down. So he doesn't like loud noises, and there's church bells going off outside. So we got home and we cleaned up a little bit, and then we were going to do the cake. And I haven't felt that happy and that relieved in so long. It was such a good feeling. And that's how the birthday went. It was just an awesome day.
Could you bring a championship that you come downstairs?
Of course.
That's awesome. So yeah, so we'll wrap it up, man. I know you got to get to the cookout and stuff, but I want to, personally thank you, Eddie and Hayley, for both coming on. And Eddie, it's been cool. Like, I wish we could have got to know each other a little better before this and not take this to happen.
Circumstances, yeah.
But I'm glad that we've started to become friends, man. And I hope we can continue to keep that going.
Lifelong.
And yeah, exactly. And Hayley, you've been amazing. And like Hayley, I got big props for you because you've helped me like through the season and stuff. And I love all of you ladies of Titans Twitter, what y'all do. And I'm so like happy that the Titans finally acknowledged you guys and like did what they did for all you and Stephanie and everything. And thank you so much. And tell them where they can find the GoFundMe. Now, the link is in the chat. It's pinned in the chat. But tell them about your Twitter page, where they can find you and how they can find you to help Eddie too.
So I'm at HeyBay42 on Twitter. I have the tweet with the information is pinned to the top of my page. So, but usually I share, I try to retweet Eddie's updates or, just share updates about things, the whole process. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And there's the link right there. And Eddie, man, any last words and tell the people where they can find your Twitter too, because if you go to Eddie's Twitter feed, you can view his whole story. He's posting, he's sharing it with you. He's also posting a lot of stuff about Ukraine, and your Twitter's blown up, man. You've got like 2,000 followers now or something. So tell them where they can find you too.
You actually don't have to look far these days because it's everywhere, which is weird to me. But it's at Eddie Oreily or Eddie underscore Oreily.
Okay.
I think you should have it somewhere.
Yeah.
I've said it, and for me, I feel bad because it's starting to feel like I don't want to feel like I'm just saying it to say it because it's not. Every time I say it, it means what I'm saying is. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Without your help, my family would be in Ukraine most likely still. We'd be in constant danger. My 13-year-old daughter would be in constant stress and I don't know how to say how thankful we are. My family is everything to me, and without Hayley's help, without her initiative to help us, we really don't know where we would be. She effectively saved my family's life by reaching out to me and putting everything out there for us. And I don't know how to thank anyone other than saying thank you and I love you all. And hopefully one day soon we'll meet up and have a beer or a whiskey and talk in person, and I can hug you and maybe then you'll feel really how much I am thankful and how much it means to me. And Hayley, if you don't stop crying, you're gonna make me cry. Please don't do it.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. We'll kind of end it on this comment here and roll the outro, and we'll be out of here and have fun at the barbecue. And Hayley, you have fun with whatever you're doing today. And Juan Delgado says, we'll end it on here. He says, very powerful message. Community and faith is too far underestimated. This is a perfect example of what the two can do and will produce for all. So there you go, man. Awesome comment there. And
thank you, Juan.
Yeah. So we're gonna get out of here, guys. God bless both of you. Eddie, keep in touch. Hayley, you too.
You.
And tighten up.
Tighten up.
For sure.
All right. See you guys later.
All right.